Well, thank you all for coming tonight, and welcome to our Jericho Journey Forward Town Plan Community Forum. My name is Linda Blasch, and I'm the Jericho Town Planner, and I really do want to know that we're grateful that you all showed up tonight because there are hundreds of things that you could be doing otherwise, so we do value that you have decided to prioritize this and shown up here to talk to us here tonight. So I want to start out with a quote that inspires me, and I hope will inspire you throughout this community planning meeting. And it goes, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And that's an African proverb, and I think it really captures the value of community and how we all need to work together to make progress on our goals. And I also want to say, we know that you're all here because you care, and I want you all to remember that there are also people that care that couldn't be here tonight. So keep that in mind as we go throughout the meeting. I want to introduce some folks that were are here to support us tonight and have done a lot of work to get this event off the ground. So first we have our Planning Commission Chair over here. This is Susan Brzee. Yes. A lot of hours and done a great job publicizing the forum. And then we have some other Planning Commission members here tonight that I want to introduce. We've got Heidi. Where's Heidi?
She's up in the welcoming table.
Okay, she's welcoming people, but she's outside. She has curly hair, silver like mine. We have Sabina, who is operating the camera tonight, and I want to just say a quick word about the camera. It's not here intending to record what your conversations are word for word or anything. We're doing this recording so that we can have an online version of this forum posted. So really the intent of the camera is just to capture the vibe of the room and show the mingling and just kind of give people that couldn't be here an idea of what the event was like. So we don't want anyone to be worried about the cameras, just act natural. And then we've got Chris on the Planning Commission. He's in the back. If you could raise your hand, Chris. So that's Chris. We've got Sarah, who's also in the back, raising her hand straight in the back. We've got Eric over here. And then we also have Wendy on the Planning Commission, and she is not here with us tonight, but she also was instrumental in pulling this event together. And then we also have our consulting team here. We have David White, who's over here. We've got Steve Whitman over here, and we've got Liz Kelly way in the back over there. So all of the folks that I've just introduced here are going to be ambassadors that you can talk to and ask questions to. We do have some other ambassadors from other committees. We have SJ, who is in that back corner over there. We have Tom Barebow, and he's over there in that corner. We have Phil Newbeck, also back in that corner. We have Wayne Howe from the Select Board, sitting down here by the camera. We've got John Abbott, the town administrator, over here by the books. And I think I also saw Eric from the Select Board in the back row. Great. And I don't remember if I...
You got Jessica?
Oh yes, we've got Jessica, the town clerk.
Oh, it's just Jessica.
Didn't
If there's anyone I forgot, I apologize, but that was my list here that I just wanted to cover. All right, so to kick the night off, I want to just do a brief visioning exercise with everybody. So I'd like us all to just transport ourselves to today's day, May 3rd, in the year 2040. And imagine yourself...
Linda, stop. Move forward and talk a little louder.
Louder?
Move even more forward.
More forward.
Yes. They won't bite, I promise. They know this.
We already
They won't
established
bite.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so we're transporting ourselves to May 3rd in the year 2040. And you're wandering around Jericho, and you're looking at the roads, and you're looking at the houses, and I want you to think about what you see in your mind that's different, what you see that's the same, and what you see that's still evolving. And so some of the questions that I want you to start thinking about are, first of all, how are you traveling around? Are you in a car? Are you flying in some kind of airplane? Are you riding a bike? Are you walking? And maybe you're on a walk, and is there a sidewalk? Is there a bike lane? What road are you on? Is it paved? Is it unpaved? Think about the different areas of town that you frequent, like if you're going to Jericho Market, what else do you see there around you that doesn't currently exist? Or is it looking just like it does today? And think about other areas of town, like along Route 15 around the Dollar General. Are there more businesses there? Is it residential? How tall are the buildings? How close are the houses together? How small are they? How large are they? So these are the types of questions that we want you all to be thinking about tonight. And we'd like you to share that vision with us through the activities that we're going to have throughout the night. So we'll have tables in the back of the room where you'll be asked some questions, and we'd like you to share your vision for the community with all of us tonight. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to David and the consultant. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. As Linda said, my name is David White. I'm with Sterling Mountain Community Planning and Design, a consultant team that's been hired by the town to help facilitate this update to the town plan. I'm also a Jericho resident, have been for more than 30 years. So I know a lot of the nooks and crannies that we all frequent together. And a lot of the challenges and needs and wants and desires that many of us share for the future of the community. A municipality in Vermont typically will write or update the town plan every 8 years. And the purpose of the town plan is to provide, as Linda suggested, that vision for what the future of the town might be. You know, where do we want to go as the town evolves? Because change is inevitable. The town will change. There are a number of factors, economic, demographic, and natural factors that are pressing on our community, and change is going to happen. We either allow that change to happen as it will, or we try to do things in order to direct that change in a particular direction or directions that we feel suit our needs as a community better. So that vision and that plan for the future is then translated, once it's adopted by the select board, it's then translated into both public and private investment in the future. It defines how the town's zoning regulations are written and what kind of development can happen where and at what scales. It defines, which then leads to the private investment in our individual properties over time. It also defines public investment. Where does the town invest its resources in infrastructure and improvements and new facilities and new programs to help an evolving population, an evolving community of residents. So it's very important that we take the time to think for a minute about the future of the town and where we need and would like to see it go over the course of the next 20 to 40 years. Like I said, it's revised every 8 years, so we're not doing this in a vacuum. As is the case with most communities, the town plan in Jericho hasn't made radical change over the many decades that there's been a town plan, but it's typically incremental change. But that's not always the case for communities around the country that undertake a planning exercise. There are some places where more dramatic change is needed and desired, and there's other places where no change is needed and desired. And that's part of the thought process and understanding what parts of Jericho are important to keep the way they are, and what parts of Jericho are important to change in a more dramatic way, and what is that change. So that's kind of the thought process that goes into this. From a timeline perspective, we expect to have a draft of the town plan available for all of you and everybody else to look at in greater detail later this summer. And then come fall, both the Planning Commission and the Select Board will go through the formal adoption process of a new town plan with the intention of having it adopted before the end of the year. The current town plan expires in January, so we need to have it adopted, a new plan adopted by then. So that's our timeline. There's a lot of information out there that you'll see here this evening, but there's more available online on the Join in Jericho website. I encourage you to take a few minutes to look through some of that at your leisure as well. And from that, I'm going to turn it over to Steve, who's going to talk about tonight and what the plan for that is.
I think I have the most fun job because I'm about to set you loose in the room. The basic way this works, you've probably already figured it out. You've been walking around looking at the stations. There are 6 stations in the back of the room. A snapshot of information for each of the topics: transportation, housing, demographics, the economy. There are some maps. Those resources are there for you to use to whatever level you want, to kind of get an idea of how things are trending in the community, questions that you have, ideas that you have. At each of the 6 tables, there are worksheets with about 4 questions per worksheet, largely open-ended, because these are the kinds of questions that the commission and staff and the consulting team are kind of wrestling with. And we are giving all the power to you as individuals to tell us what you think, ideas you have, and questions you have. So it doesn't all have, you don't have to have solved all these problems tonight. But the way this format works is go to the tables, vote with your feet. Spend as much time or as little time at a topic as you want. Talk to your neighbors or your partner if you came with someone. Feel free to take a worksheet, sit at a table with a snack, and fill things in. Smile. Have a good time. We are decentralizing the kind of meeting structure so that you can be in charge. If you have questions, Linda already identified there are folks with lanyards, and then there are 3 of us from the consulting team. Come talk to us. We're probably going to try to get you to write down what you're telling us, but come talk to us. And if we can get you an answer to something that's helpful, we're happy to do that. Outside of tonight, you are now the ambassadors for this plan. So I did a rough count. There are about 60 people here. So there are 60 people that hopefully will go out and talk to a couple other people in Jericho and say, wow, this is a unique opportunity to provide insight and direction to the plan. You know, visit the town website and please provide some feedback. That will also be an option for all of you. So if you need more time to process or you're dwelling on a question and a week from now you have a great idea, please visit the town website, submit your idea, even if you were here tonight. You can go on as many times as you need to if you can try to give us more unique answers every time and not the same answer each time. So that's it. We really just want to collect your thoughts, and if you get to a point where you feel content, you've given as much feedback as you want, there's no conclusion presentation, so you're free to grab a snack and go. So you can stay as long or as little as you want. Yes?
So how does this draft that you're going to come up with tie in with Jericho's current zoning laws?
That's a great question.
Great question. So process-wise, legally-wise, the municipality's master plan or town plan dictates how that zoning ordinance then, or what that zoning ordinance does. What does it look like? What does it try to achieve? So what we come up with in the town plan should be providing direction for changes to the zoning regulations that will then result in the goals that the plan is calling for.
Uh-huh.
So if the town plan says this part of the community needs to change in this particular direction, that then becomes a project of the planning commission to then, okay, let's dig into this. What does that mean? What does that look like? How do we recraft the zoning regulations in order to give us something more like this result that the town plan is calling for?
Okay.
Okay? And one other thing about kind of what the result of the town plan really looks like, you know, it's not always going to provide a specific answer or a specific direction. My charge from the Planning Commission is that it be as action-oriented as possible. So it's very clear what it is we're trying to do and when and how that's going to get done. But sometimes a plan has to say, we need to do more study, we need to do more planning, we need to do more research around a particular topic or a particular area. So it might say, we know that in general we want to see this part of the town evolve in this direction, but we really think we need to have a more focused planning process to look at that area in greater detail in order to fine-tune what that recommendation looks like.
Kurt.
Oh, yeah, Kurt, yes.
Accessible?
I better go out.
Well, I mean, I think,
Yeah. Hi, Georgette. How are you?
It was drawn like a town meeting. I can't wait to get home and tell that.
and he does.
Are they down there with housing? Well, it's probably Democratic.
I mean, I guess we could kind of like put roadblocks and say, no, we're just going to do it.
And then you've got town center.
Have you answered all your questions here?
Northbound